Coffee in Seattle. It is 100% the coffee capital of the world. But with that being said, there are so many cafes in Seattle. It can be overwhelming at times. So here are my top 5 favorite cafes in all of Seattle.
Flying high, we're flying high, flying high. Baby girl, we're flying high, we're flying high, flying high.
Before we get into that though, here are some criteria of how I'm deciding these are my favorite cafes. We're gonna go through studyability or workability, so things like Wi-Fi, outlets, things like that. We're gonna talk about coffee. Is it bussin' or not? How busy is it typically? That's criteria number 3. Criteria number 4, how aesthetic is it? What is the vibes? And number 5, we're gonna talk about accessibility. So things like parking, when it's open, flexibility, when you can go and things like that. And by the way, this list is in no particular order. I love all of them so much. Number 1 is Santo Coffee, the coffee shop just north of the U District near Green Lake, and it's one of the best cafes in Seattle. In terms of studyability, there's fast and free Wi-Fi, and there are outlets just all over the place, under the chairs, across on the walls, things like that. So a great place to study and get work done. In terms of coffee, it is bussin'. It is some just like my favorite coffee in Seattle. They just have a lot of coffee that's very diverse and not just your typical coffee. This is because the owner is actually a player for the Seattle Sounders, which is pretty cool, the soccer team. He's Colombian, so he brought a lot of Colombian coffee to Seattle. It's a very cool origin story. If you want to check it out, I'll check out their website. Very sick. But because of that, the coffee in particular is so good. It's very unique, has a very distinct flavor. At the same time, they offer pour over, which is in my opinion the best coffee to drink. How busy is it? Man, it can be pretty busy throughout the entire day. Especially in the mornings though, I found that it's harder to find seats. But if you come maybe like in the afternoon after maybe like 2-ish, they close around 4 to 5, so you can usually find a seat. The aesthetics and the vibes, they are on point. It is the most beautiful cafe with just so much natural light coming in, with a mix of both dark and light colors that really blend well together. They designed it very well. The people working there are also some of the most kind and genuine people as well. In terms of accessibility, it is close to UW campus, which is awesome for the students nearby, but it's also close to Green Lake, which is awesome for the young adults living there who are just trying to find a nearby coffee shop. Parking is also very easy to find. There's a lot of street parking nearby in the neighborhoods that are free, which is amazing, so you can be there and for hours without needing to pay for parking. They're also dog friendly, which is always a plus in Seattle, and their hours are open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, and then 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Monday through Friday. Love Santos. Chef's kiss. Next on our list, we have Mr. West Cafe. Now, this cafe is in the heart of both the U District and downtown, with 2 of its prime locations. In terms of studyability, it's a great place to be. Wi-Fi is free, so you just need to ask for the password though. And in terms of outlets, they're all over the place as well, so it's very easy to plug in if you need to charge your laptop and if you want to stay there for an extended period of time. How's the coffee? It's pretty good. It's not awful. It's definitely more of like a light roast. So if you like your coffee a little bit more sour or a little bit more like you want some more like bitterness in it, then I would say this coffee is pretty good. That one is just a personal preference, I would say, if you like light roast coffee. But at the same time, they offer great food options. Their avocado toast is very good. They have nice, just brunch type energy as well. So it's a mix of both a cafe, but also a place you can eat and meet up with a friend. How busy is it? During the week, it can get so hectic because it's both, like I said, a cafe, but also a place to eat. Yeah, I've seen it packed to where it can even be tough to find seats. They do open late though, so if you come a little bit later, if you want like a night work session or evening work session, you're able to come in and find a seat easily. Aesthetics and vibes, they are on point as well, with a lot of greenery. Again, it's just another place with a lot of natural light flowing in, but also just a lot of light and dark colors mixed as well together. In terms of accessibility, parking in the U District is easier to find because they have parking at Uville, but in terms of downtown, it's tougher because it's mainly just street parking, so you're not going to really find a lot of easily accessible parking. If you have a choice, I would go to the Uville location way more than the downtown just because of parking alone. Yeah, this place opens late. It's the only cafe on this list actually that opens past 6 p.m. So on Friday and Saturday, they open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then the rest of the days, they're open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Solid hours, solid location, beautiful area. Go check it out. All right, next we have Aroom Coffee. Now this cafe is a Vietnamese cafe with Vietnamese coffee, and it is beautiful to be at. So let's talk about studyability. It's a great place to work as well. They have free Wi-Fi, which is nice, but the big caveat is that outlets are definitely tougher to find because they're only at the edges of the wall. I would say come prepared, come with a fully charged laptop, and you should be fine. How's the coffee? It be a bussin'. It is so fire. I love the coffee here. It's Vietnamese coffee, so it's very unique and distinct as well. And because of that, you're gonna get a great experience from the coffee. How busy is it? Well, when I went at least, it was incredibly busy. I think this is one of the new up and coming places coming in Seattle, so just customers are flowing in, all seats are taken. So I would definitely come earlier in the morning or maybe in the afternoon just to see if you can get a seat if you want to study there. But if you're just there to grab some quick coffee and move on with your day, yeah, that should be pretty easy. In terms of aesthetics, it is also on point, very minimal. This place definitely has more brighter colors, so just the white walls and the light wood as well. Great location, great ambiance and vibes, and yeah, it's beautiful. In terms of accessibility, parking can be tough to find. You have to street park. It's not the worst, but it can be definitely a little more challenging. It is dog friendly, we love that, and they are closed on Mondays, sadly, so if you're looking for a Monday work session, sadly can't, and they're only open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. All right, next we have Anchorhead Coffee. This is actually one of the newest ones that I found that I have been loving so much. So Anchorhead, they're a coffee shop based out of both Nashville and Seattle, but there's a ton of locations mainly in Seattle, scattered across from Capitol Hill to downtown. They're everywhere. I think there's one in Bellevue as well on East Side. Beautiful cafe, love it so much. Studyability, they have great Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. Outlets, at least in the downtown location that I was at, it was definitely tougher to find. It was only in one area in the back, which is kind of tough. So if you went during a time like when I was, when it was packed, you're not gonna be able to find an outlet. And I actually really needed one when I was there because my laptop was dying. How's the coffee? Dude, it was bussin'. This coffee was fire. Loved it so much. They had really nice coffee. It wasn't too bitter, which I really appreciate. I don't really like bitter or sour coffee all that much. They had a very interesting menu with just a lot of different options like pistachio lattes and different things like that. But they also offer pour over, which to me is a huge indicator for it being a good cafe. How busy was it? It was pretty popular on a Friday. Like I said, it was very full when I went. But keep in mind the location that I was at was in the heart of Seattle, so it's right next to South Lake Union. So a lot of tech people are just coming in as well, I assume, or just people around the area. So it's gonna be a popular location. In terms of aesthetic and vibes, it was a beautiful cafe with just immaculate vibes. This place had a ton of natural light just flowing in, which really brought out the darker tones in the location and in the walls very well. It was a great balance between natural light, but also a darker ambiance. If I lived in the heart of Seattle, I would actually be at this cafe all the time. But that's where accessibility comes in. It is very tough to find parking in that location. It's definitely a common theme in Seattle that parking is hard to find, but in this particular location, it was just especially more difficult. Yeah, it's just a lot of street parking you have to do, so it's not gonna be the easiest. If you live near South Lake Union or in that area, this place is easy to go to. It's just like 5 or 6 blocks down, and if you ride like a Lime scooter or have like an electric skateboard like I do, you'll get there in like minutes. It's great. There are various locations with various hours, but the one that I went to in downtown, they're open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Great hours, great coffee, great vibes. We love it.
I lost myself, I'm probably out my mind.
All right, next on this list, we have URL Coffee. It's a Korean-inspired and Korean-owned cafe in Capitol Hill. In terms of studyability, yes, you can definitely study here and work here. There's outlets all across in the back area, so just all by the table, so it's pretty easy to plug in and just get charging if you need it. Wi-Fi is also free, which is phenomenal, and it's pretty fast as well. How is the coffee? It is delicious. It's some of the best coffee that I've had in Seattle. How busy is it? It's typically not that busy. It's in the middle of a college town, so it's not like a very big location, let's say that. So when it does get busy, there sadly isn't gonna be any seats. It can be pretty full. but every time that I've went, there hasn't been that many people to where I couldn't sit down and just get some work done if I needed to. In terms of aesthetics and vibes, it is beautiful. It is Korean culture inspired, which is awesome. I can tell they got a lot of their inspiration from Seoul. Just the cafes that they have there, you can definitely see that they took away some of the colors and the light schemes and the minimalism that they put into this cafe. You can see the details, which is awesome. You don't see that many Korean inspired cafes out there, so having one in Seattle is amazing. In terms of accessibility, this is actually the tough part about this place. Parking is the worst. Every time I'm gone, it's taken me at least 20 minutes to find parking. This is because it's literally right next to Seattle University, which is a big college town, but just parking in itself can be tough because the only spots are down a fat hill, and I don't really like walking up that fat hill. That's the toughest part about this place, parking. And in terms of hours, they're open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday, and then 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Monday through Friday. So they're more open during the weekdays because they're trying to cater for students and just working professionals. All right, y'all, you'll never believe who I ran into today. Ran into Christine.
Coffee Craving Christine.
Coffee Craving Christine, the one and only.
This is really good. 10 out of 10.
You guys don't remember Christine? We went to high school together. Yeah.
Yeah, we go way back. We're homies since like day one.
Exactly. She's a day one homie, and you were in all my camping vlogs in 2017. Yeah. Yeah, Lake Cushman and stuff, right? Yeah, it's become a long way. But yeah, if you haven't checked out her page, go check it out. I'll make sure to link it down below. But yeah, no, check it out. She has really like aesthetic coffee videos, especially for cafes in the San Francisco Bay Area. So if you need inspo, go to her page. It's really sick, like genuinely.
Wow, that's so nice. Thank you.
But yes, those are my top 5 favorite cafes in Seattle in no particular order. It was very fun making this video. I love just exploring. I spent a whole day just going to different cafes, and it was so fun. Yeah, if you guys like this video and you want to see a part 2 of just more cafes that I love, because I have another fat list I can go down, let me know. I'd love to make another video of that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. If you guys don't know me, my name is Tim. I am a lifestyle and tech creator here in Seattle. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.
Baby girl, we're flying high, flying high.